Hey there, Blaze here, and today I want to talk about Overwatch's DPS power creep nonsense and the new patch and stuff. Playing tank sucks. It's always sucked, and now you're also kind of useless. Um, Barriers are like an Overwatch specific thing. If you think about any other first person shooter you've ever played, who allows one team to shoot through a barrier but the other team can't? It's nonsense. It's creating an area that one team can shoot the other through. It's forcing a good position into a place where it should not be a good position. You know in Iron Man 2 where they land that little creek area and they have the argument about who has a big gun, and Tony's like, well, where should I be then? Should I just stay here? And War Machine goes, nah, man, this is a kill zone. This is where people go to die. But if you have a magic shield that you can shoot through, then it's still good. And that's the main thing. One team can shoot through it. Even Wakanda can't figure out that particular design flaw. It's, in my opinion, kind of bad game design. Just shoved into the game because they couldn't figure out how to allow a successful attack against constantly respawning dudes with infinite ammo, where the objective area is just out in the open. So let's recap on how Overwatch works. There are a few competitive game modes. There's Assault, where the attacking team has to shove the defending team off a wide, flat area, usually by killing them, to capture a number of points. Escort, same thing, but you shove the defending team off of a moving object that blocks damage and heals the attackers. And Control, same thing as Assault, but it's even in terms of map geometry and spawn zones, and it's best 2 out of 3. There's also Hybrid, where you capture 1 point and then escort the rest. And they're introducing something called Push that I don't really get. So, in Overwatch, shields are basically just a limited window of opportunity for your team to gain an advantage from what would otherwise be a bad position. In better tiers of play, let's just say Platinum and above, because that's still like the top 30%, shields are used to gain a positional advantage. So once your shields are gone, your team is taking damage. So let's talk about damage for a second. Reinhardt swings his hammer once per second for 75 damage cleave in a close area, right? McCree shoots 2.38 times a second for up to 70 damage, but he can headshot for 140. So he's doing roughly 160 to 330 damage per second if he's hitting all his shots. Reaper shoots for up to 140 damage with his pellets and can headshot those for up to 280 optimally. 2 shots per second, healing 40% of that damage, by the way. Reinhardt's 300 health and 200 armor doesn't cut it against these inflated damage numbers. Once a tank serves their purpose of getting the team to point B, it's all on the damage to make something of themselves. I'm not talking about ultimate abilities in this video, but personally I think if their ultimates are their useful part and they're using that as a design crutch, then they failed. Blizzard needs to find out what they want the game to be. With this latest change, they've reduced shield effectiveness, right? And tanks have become less useful as barrier bearers or shield shooters. But now they're even less effective compared to the potential of pretty much any DPS. You can't hide from the DPS queue problem. It's the most fun because you made it that way. More than half the characters, each one of them a brilliantly fleshed out person that anyone could find themselves attached to, are DPS. Fix it. And give tanks like offensive assist points when an ally shoots through your shield. That could help. It could make playing Ryan especially feel a little better. You hold up the shield, you don't feel like you're doing anything. And just nerf damage and healing values across the board. You know, or increase tanks' health. This could just be a numbers problem. But something I really want to get out there as well is player agency. When you are playing and you encounter an issue with the enemy team composition, so you're playing and you seem to have a trouble with one of the enemy players. They have a Mei. You quickly look at your team composition and you have no effective range, damage, or burst to kill the Mei in between ice blocks. What do you do as a tank? I think the answer is still pray. You can try knocking the Mei about as a wrecking ball or something, but Mei is just not counterable by any tank. Uh, Doomfist, maybe Roadhog. You could kill a Doomfist with, but he's got so much health and mobility and cooldowns that he can usually get away even if you hook him. I think Zarya Bubble stops the knockback. McCree can handle a Doomfist. Where's the flashbang tank? There isn't one. Farah, you need a hit scan. It's back to Wrecking Ball. Tanks are not tanky enough and don't compete with enough damage or creativity in their kit to feel good in a game where fantastic damage heroes take up more than half the roster. Yeah, I think that's it. I had to get it out, and I'm staying away from Reddit, so here you are. Until next time.